Welcome to episode 5 of Tech Talks, and today I am joined by none other than Ben Fallon, the Global Director of Distribution at Cisco Meraki, or as we call him, the Overlord of Distribution. Ben, thank you very much for joining me. Great to have you today.
Thank you, Nick. It's great to be here, and it's obviously I lead the whole channel team, so distribution is very close to my heart as well.
Fantastic, and I'm sure we're going to talk a bit more about what we're doing for our distributors out there during this time. But firstly, just to find out a bit more about Ben, how's it been for you? What changes, or how have you had to adapt to COVID and working from home and running the show, shall we say, from there?
Yeah, cool. So look, we've got people in my team that are based all around the world, and kind of pretty early on, when our whole environment changed, we kind of said, right, we need to pivot quite quickly to not postpone, to not cancel activities, but to reimagine them. And that's why we got the team on board with using some different video communication methods. I guess this show is a culmination of you having that same kind of idea. And really it's about how do you continue to keep things moving forward and have some degree of momentum around what you do, and not kind of sit back and kind of wait thinking that maybe things will get resolved for you. So that was really what I would say changed at a high level. And then one of the things which I've just been doing in the last week or so is trying to do something a little bit fun, bringing together technology and cooking, which is one of my other passions. And so we've launched a Cooking with Meraki, and we've got some great dishes. The first one we've served up is remote working ravioli. And I'm sure maybe you can squeeze a few of the other sessions out of me before the end of this call as well.
100%. I think, as you quite rightly say, we've not stopped activity. I think as a business, we've continued to execute on supporting our community, our customers, our partners. But reimagining the way that we actually put the information out there has really been the most exciting part of this, and it's added a new dimension as to how we measure, the activities that we do and the information that we put out there. I definitely love your show. I think the cooking mixed with what we do I love cooking. If I could spend an hour in the kitchen a day, I'm happy as Larry. So I think you've definitely cornered a little market there with that show. And most definitely for the viewers out there, don't miss Ben's show. It's definitely something to watch when it comes to some creative ways of communicating what we do. Ben, from a distribution and having this overview of everything that we do at Cisco Meraki with our partners and distributors, what is out there for distributors at this moment in time in terms of the type of commitment we have, even though that's not ceased, but things have changed a little bit. Could you tell us a bit more about that?
Yeah, sure. Look, so if you look at it in the market today, most vendors have put something in place for partners and distributors to help them. If you look at the number one thing for partners right now, it's cash flow. Second, you're looking at, well, how's the program infrastructure going to support them? And third, it can be around how can they start building pipeline? What are some of the tools and resources? And if you look at what Cisco's done overall, it's probably one of the most comprehensive packages to support partners. So there's over $2.5 billion that's been put into advanced financing. There's a ton of enablement that's been put online. Testing has been moved online. Extension to deadlines of when certifications have to be renewed. Marketing investments that were in place. You've got longer to be able to execute on them. So just probably one of the most comprehensive packages that I've seen any vendor deliver into the market, and I've been looking at what everyone's been doing. So this is a great time to be working with Cisco. It's a great time to be a partner of Cisco, and there's some super compelling financial offers with things like Cisco Easy Pay, payment deferral, etc., that are really going to help everybody with their number one challenge, which is cash flow. So yeah, just a fantastic suite of offers.
And we've just launched our new website, brilliantly targeted to the solutions that are required today, working from home, being able to have that remote distancing, as well as being able to execute and be productive, with all of the offers around free trials with WebEx Teams, Umbrella. I mean, the suite of offering out there is fully comprehensive, as you say, probably the most comprehensive. From the perspective of Ben, your team, and what you see you've had to implement the changes within your team, have you seen your team take well to that? Has there been anything from a senior leadership point of view that you've had to adjust personally in terms of your approach to ensure that everybody's taken care of in your team?
Yeah, cool. So look, my team's a field-based team. So we've got people looking after service providers, partners, distributors all around the world. And so actually changing from having a significant portion of your day being out and about, partner offices, presenting at events, and then going into a full virtual motion is a big change, right? It's a big change mentally. There's a great physical positive, which is you're not having to spend as much time traveling, but mentally you get a lot of your energy from interaction with people. And obviously with a lot of the restrictions that are put on many people around the world, that piece, while you could still get connection virtually, it's a very different environment to work in. So that was the first thing, was making sure the team are in good shape, that they've got the tools both for their own mental health and well-being, as well as being able to engage externally. So using things like video communications, series like this, as we've said, encouraging them to use different mediums. So those were some of the big, I would say, some of the big changes. And then for me personally, it's also, I think, sharing with your team that everyone has good days and bad days, right? I have days where I'm like, yes, right, I'm off, I'm running, like, great day, done, it's productive. And I have days when it's not. And just being open and transparent and admitting that to your team, like, none of us are, supermen or women. We all have good days and bad days, and that's okay.
It goes with our values.
The
values that we run, care deeply. Yeah, I've never seen it being so prominent as in the last quarter or 3 months. It's been tremendous, and I think pretty privileged to be working for a company like this. Definitely privileged. Well, we're getting to the point of the show. Before I'm going to give you the opportunity to ask me a question, but I wanted to push you a little bit more on what's in the next series of Cooking with Ben. Is there a little teaser that you could give us?
Well, it's likely next week we will have the sous vide smart camera. Sous vide being a very precision cooking technique, and we're going to be using that analogy to talk about our smart cameras. So look out for that.
Almost as intelligent as your whit, Ben. Ben, we'll get to the point where I'll make you the offer. You could ask me a question. I like to do something that scares me every day, and I think the gauntlet is definitely ahead of me when it comes to you. So, have you got a question for the host?
Absolutely. So, what is that skull all about with the headphones on in your background?
My wife's been giving me a lot of grief. She goes, it's my little altar. I was like, well, when I'm in the office and I'm doing demos and I'm doing videos, I normally have a huge amount of, or shall we say, props that I can put up. So I just gotta find stuff in the house. And this morning I decided to put headphones on him. He seemed like he needed a bit of joy. Life's a bit of a dead end for him, I think.
And what track has he got on there, Nick?
Definitely like, Burner Boy is my latest. Definitely Burner Boy. Yeah, I think is warming up to that one there. Ben, great having you on. Thank you so much for your time, and thank you for everything that you do for us as an organization, as well as our distributors and our partner community out there. Appreciate it very much, and I wish you, your family and friends health.
Thank you, Nick. Have fun. Catch up soon.
Thank you very much. Take care, Ben. All the best.